Welcome to Spoken Reviews, home of the Spoken Reviews. Today, guys, we're going to be benchmarking the Microsoft Surface Pro 4. Now, the Surface Pro 4 that we're testing today does have the i5 processor that can go up to 2.4 gigahertz. It does have 4 gigs of RAM built in and a 128 gigabyte SSD hard drive. Now, the first test we ran today was the Geekbench 3 benchmark test. Now, this is a great test. It's able to benchmark the processor speed for computers, laptops, tablets, and phones. I did run the free version, which is the 30-bit version. There is a 64-bit version that I will run at a later time. I did run this after a fresh restart, so the memory was cleared out, and I ran this test 3 times back to back to back. Now, the first time I ran this test, I was able to get 3,050 for the single core and 6,323 for the multi-core. The second time I ran this test, I was able to get 3,070 for the single core and 6,336 for the multi-core. And the third time I ran this test, I was able to get 3,070 for the single core and 6,344 for the multi-core. So, all in all, very impressive benchmark scores for the Surface Pro 4. I'm super impressed. Microsoft's done a great job with updating this tablet and the hardware. I can attribute this to the improvements with the processor and also with the overall improvements with the speed of the SSD. The second test we're going to run today is going to be the Cinebench R15 benchmark test by Maxim. It's a great test to test the CPU. It's going to give an OpenGL score and a CPU score. I did run this test 3 different times to ensure the accuracy of the test. Right now I have it running right now. I will come right back once it's done with the scores and we'll go over the scores. Okay guys, looking at the scores for the Cinebench R15 test, as you can see on the OpenGL test, I was able to get 37.84. Which is pretty good. I ran this test several times. I was able to get up to 40 one time and anywhere from 36. So 37.84 is kind of in the middle, which is what I to expect. On the CPU test, this is a benchmark that actually puts you against other CPUs and it ranks you. I was able to get 297, which is still pretty strong. Once again, guys, this is the i5 processor with 4 gigs of RAM. 120 gigabyte SSD. I do believe if I were to have chosen a higher RAM, for example, the 8 gig RAM model, I would have done significantly better on this test. But given the fact that the one I have, I'm still pretty impressed. This is pretty comparable to other i5 processors with 4 gigs of RAM. And this computer is still really snappy. The next benchmark we're going to run today is going to be the PC benchmark test. Now, this is a free benchmark test that can be found in the Windows App Store for free. Just type in PC benchmark, you'll be able to find it. And once again, we're testing the Surface Pro 4 i5. So first, let's look at some of the test results. So first, we benchmarked all of the tests. First, we did a disk test. You can see it breaks it out by the write and read speeds, linear, 512, and 4K. So first linear, 90.52 for the write, which is pretty good. And for the read, really impressive, 817.89. So I was really impressed with that. When we go to 512K, we're looking at 45.55 for the write and 241.75 for the read. So still pretty impressive whenever you're pushing it out at 512. When you bump it all the way up to 4K, we're looking at 20.51 for the write and 19.71 for the read. So still pretty impressive. The next test that we did was going to be the CPU test. It's going to do it by single-threaded and multi-thread. As you can see, we were able to get 280.28 for the single thread and 581.37 for the multi-threaded. So pretty impressive on that one. The next test is going to be the RAM test. For the main RAM for the speeds, I was able to get 2,310.4 megabytes per second. So pretty impressive with the RAM. If I would have went for the 8 gigs or 60 gigs of RAM, this would have been a lot higher. But for the 4 gigs, was really impressed with that. The final test was going to be the GPU test. I was able to compute the test that it did with the speed ops at 3,646.65. So really impressed with that one too. Overall, this pretty much just confirms what I already experienced with the Surface Pro 4. Given that this is the 4th generation of the Surface tablet, it's really been honed in, find the software and the hardware work together seamlessly to give you a great experience. The thing we're going to do to test the speed of the Surface Pro 4 i5 is we're going to open up the Microsoft Edge. I'm just going to open it up and click so we can see how fast it launches. So 3, 2, 1. So pretty snappy, and that's kind of some of the real world speed you're going to get with this. It's a super fast computer. I've had it for a little over a month now. I've been using it pretty much daily, and it works really fast. So I just kind of want to kind of show you guys some of the speed that we're going to get with that real world speed, so you guys have an idea if you're looking to buy this, what you're going to get with it. Okay guys, the next thing we're going to do to test the speed is we're going to do a quick restart just so you guys can see what type of reboot speed you're going to have. So the 3, 2, 1, and it's restarting. I just want to kind of mention I've had this for a while. It's still going pretty fast. This is a little slower because I have to hit restart anyway, but as you guys can see, real world, you're going to get some pretty fast reboot times. So here it's restarting, it's booting. Okay, and there we have it. It's booted up. So pretty fast reboot time. And this is something that's going to, have a real world impact on you. Day to day, restarting, starting. It's something that's really going to affect the overall satisfaction of the product. And I can say specifically with the last month using this product that I've been really impressed with the reboot time. Pretty satisfied with it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this benchmarking test. I tried to give as many benchmarks as I could for the Surface Pro 4, just for anybody who's out there who's debating on getting the tablet / computer. It's a great product. The benchmarks are great, but real world, this works really well. I'm really impressed with it. Some of my friends also have it. They have the 4 and they also have the older 3, and they all love it. It's a great product. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave the questions below. If you have any comments, leave them below. If you like the video, feel free to hit that like button. Don't be scared to hit it. I love getting the like button hit. And if you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, guys. Thank you, and have a great day.